Welcome back, Sammy.
Hey guys, here we are back again, live, driving it up. And there's my little TikTokers. I heard you guys laughing at me. I was going to do one of those impersonations, but I'm not going to do it. You're laughing at me? Am I funny? What am I? I amuse you? No, I'm not going to do it, but I just did it. I said I'm not going to do it. I just did it. So, guys, you know, we get great comments. We get, some comments are not so great, but you take the good with the bad, I guess.
There you have the facts of life.
Excuse me?
The facts of life.
The facts of life. That's the facts of life.
It's a great show.
I was told to rub my knees, and I don't know why you wanted me to do that, but I'm doing it. Is that a turn off for you guys? I mean, I don't know what it is.
Press one.
Says they love you and are calling you handsome and the best.
Handsome?
Yeah.
Oh, I like
Sweet
that.
Marie, she
I-
says, hello, handsome, with some flowers.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Vera says you are a legend.
A legend. You know, it's weird that, seriously, I hate calling myself a legend, but I have people in Hollywood I'm talking to, and one of the people said that, Lucky Luciano was a legend in his time. He put the Mafia together. He did all these things. So he said, in this era, you're becoming a legend. And I don't look at myself as a legend or anything like that, but it's a hell of a compliment, I think. When I think of legends, I think of guys like Terry Winter, Nick Pileggi. They're legends in Hollywood. These are legends. They're so powerful in things that they have done. So I guess I am in a way, and I take it as a tremendous compliment. It doesn't go to my head. I don't think I'm a big shot, but being called that in a serious way was, I thought they were goofing on me at first. You're a legend. Your sister's a legend. No, Sammy, we mean it. So, all right. So.
How was your weekend, Sammy?
My weekend was great. I met a producer, a female producer, and I've been talking to her on and off and on and off. And I went. I'm so crude. I says, you want to go out? We could have something to eat and we could talk. Now, these restaurants are loud, so you can't really talk business. And it's not a date. So I said, do you want to go to a cigar bar? And she said, yeah. She says, every once in a blue moon, I'll smoke a cigar. I think it's fun. The cigar bar is quiet. It's like a club. It's quiet. You could sit there and listen to it. And I gave her one of the videos that we're working on, the Peruta story. She was completely blown away. And we talked about what she's doing, and I might do some things with her. I'm not sure yet. I told her we went to dinner after to the Steak 44. It's a really, in Arizona, people know the place. It's a great steakhouse. And so we went over there, and then we left, and I told her, get back with my girls, Anna and Amina and Sterling, and you could talk with them, and because with tech I'm horrible. Spelling, I don't take notes good. So get in touch with me during the week, and maybe we'll talk to you about what you're doing. And she showed me some stuff. She directs, she produces, she does, horror movies. And so I had a good weekend. I relaxed a little bit while talking business. It was good. So my weekend was good. I had a good time.
Awesome.
I went out with my dog a little bit, took her for a walk. I don't usually do that. I took a nice long walk with her. I was thinking of taking her to a park, but she's a dog fighter. She'll see other animals. She don't play well with other animals. She fights. My girls all know that. We lock the door because she'll run out the door. She'll fight with a coyote. She'll fight with anything. But she loves people, all people, all races, all nationalities. She just loves people in general. And so I don't even see her. Usually she lays right here all the time. My son is here. He went inside. I think she's investigating. Make sure I got a little stash of money. Make sure he stays away from the money. So she's keeping her eye on him, I guess.
I hear some clinking of a collar.
Yeah, she's clinking around. Where is my Lily? She's gone. She left me. All right, she's good.
Here comes Gerard. Gerard is in the house. Sterling's in the house. Amina's in the house.
Yep, everybody's here. We got a big house today. Everybody's here. And
Is his grandson back on TikTok today, Sterling? Dominic, are you watching, love?
yeah, my grandkids get on TikTok every once in a while.
Oh,
That's my grandpa.
yeah. That's my puppy.
You ready to jump into questions from last week?
Yes.
Alrighty. We have 3 questions from last week, and then I have a couple from our thing that we're gonna
Try to speak up a little bit.
Can you not hear me? I'm sitting
All right.
right here.
Well, now that you're straightened up, she was all crunched up in the corner.
She's spicy.
I know.
Amina's spicy today.
She's a little spicy. She's always a little
Give
spicy.
us some coffee.
God.
No, some M&Ms.
My M&Ms.
I told her I'm gonna body like a football player. I'm gonna body tackle you, and she, go, let's go. She's ready to go. I'll knock her ass right the hell out.
She's like, are you smoking in here in my room?
She throws me
No
out of the
smoking
room
in the
when I'm
office.
smoking. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm like, ask me the questions. Let's get to the questions.
All right, so Red Man says, I have a question for Sammy. Sammy, where exactly were you and what were you doing when you heard the news that Carmine Galante was killed? What did you do after? I always hear that was a big moment in New York. There's video surveillance of Bruno and Delicato being congratulated by Neil Delacroce at the Ravenite. Unlike normal hits, it feels like a weight was lifted off the mob and a lot of guys were actually celebrating.
Well, Galante was a tough guy. I didn't know him well. Peruta actually knew him. I saw him in a place in Bath Avenue in a club one day. When I heard when he was in prison, he would play handball and with younger guys. And he would lose, and you're supposed to get off, and the next guy plays. He don't get off. He wants the winner to get off, and he plays again. And they just let him do that because he was just a grumpy old man. When he came out, he made himself the boss of the family. You can't do that. He did that. He put a lot of pressure on the mob, so when he was gone, it was a relief. Where was I? I don't remember exactly where I was. Now that I think about it, when I first heard that he was killed, I was with a girl named Susie, and me and her were hanging out. And one of my guys, somebody knocked on the door. Sammy, the Carmine Galante got hit. And I stopped what I was doing. Not happy about it, but I stopped what I was doing, and I came out. So I guess I was with Susie Q, and I think we were having sex.
Oh my God.
I have to tell the truth here. Come on, I think I was having sex,
PG-13.
and my body just riveted. Oh my God, he's dead. She was real happy about it. I think I was a little happy about it myself. So I don't remember exactly where I was, to tell you the truth, but I heard about it, and one of them, I think one of them was his nephew. They betrayed him, but the guy he was on a death wish. I remember that. I think the club was Sonny Red's club. He was a captain, a very powerful captain. I walked in there with Peruta, and he was yelling at Sonny Red that he wants an envelope every week, this, that, and the other thing. I couldn't believe my ears. And I had told Peruta, who the fuck is this? He says, this guy Galante's a tough bastard. He just got out of prison. Yeah, but Sonny Red's no slouch, bro. And I kind of figured when he was bowing down to him, okay, I'll send you an envelope. I knew this guy's days were limited. Sonny wouldn't just, Sonny would have just said, fuck you, I ain't giving you nothing. You just got out of prison. Who the fuck are you? But he didn't have that conversation. So I know when a guy does that, he's got bad intentions. I knew this guy didn't have long to live. He went over to Spiro, who was on Bath Avenue. I know about the meeting there that he had. He was very rough type of guy. He had connections with the Banana crew in Canada, and I think he went there because he originally had connections with them, and he spoke with them. So I mean, he did a lot of things right away when he came out, and I think there was relief of him getting killed because they were afraid he was going to wind up starting a war. Family type of wars with different families or stuff. So I think they were relieved. I don't know. I don't remember exactly where I was. It's not like, the Twin Towers came down or something like that. It was historic. So I didn't know where the hell I was. But I heard about it, pretty quickly, and they were relieved, that's for sure. So.
Great. Next question is from Janet Kiefer. After you sold the farm in New Jersey, what kind of stuff did you do on the weekends to distance yourself from the mob?
What did I do? I became, I think, at that point, to be completely honest, I think I got more involved in the mob. I didn't have those weekends to run away. I lost a lot of things. I lost a lot of money with the Plaza Suite and a few things. And I wasn't doing well, and I think I got more, involved in things, and I became, things that I would do, I would, try to go away on vacations. I went away on vacations with my family to Puerto Rico, to Florida, to different places to run away. Things like that. I did a little hunting and fishing, but that tapered off as well. The Mafia kind of, I keep telling this story that the Johnny Keys hit, and I'm not sure where we're talking about, what time, but the door closed to the rest of the world for me. I really became so involved. And an ex-girlfriend of mine, Louise, once told me, years later, she said, Sammy, she knew me as a young guy. She said, your eyes were bubbly and you laughed and joked a lot. You were great. And then I saw you and your eyes were different. I said, how? She said, they were ice cold. Everything about you changed. And I told her, when did you bump into me? When did that happen? And she said, about 1980 was the Johnny Keys hit. And I think that the Johnny Keys hit changed my life dramatically. I became, the door closed on the rest of the world, and Cosa Nostra was everything to me. Whether it was fun or not fun or work, whatever it was, I was 100% down. And I hope I didn't get too cold or whatever, but I guess I did. I just, that hit changed my life. Things in your life, I was looking at, putting together some videos that Hollywood wants for me. And I looked at the Joe Peruta Joe Peruta tape, and it brought me back again. And it was so powerful, and it brought me right back into the life again. And I listened to it the other day, but I listened to it this morning with Sterling. She wanted to hear it. I'm blown away just listening to it. again, every time I listen or talk about these things, these things took over my life. I dated, I played around a little bit, but I really wasn't fun no more. I didn't have a lot of fun. I didn't have that kind of time. Everything was pressing. The Castellano hit took place. So many things took place that took over my life. People killing each other, wars. I mean, so I don't think I was such a fun guy as I was when I was younger, or I am now. I like to have fun now. But I think a door closed in those years, and I became very serious, very Cosa Nostra about everything I did. So I don't know if that answers your question, but.
All right, next question is from Gerald Trujillo. The utmost respect to you and your crew, Sammy. My question is, did you ever meet or know Jimmy Hoffa?
No, I never knew Jimmy Hoffa. I never met him. I knew about him, from Tato and from other guys who I was with, and I understand what happened with him. I was told the whole story, and and I think I know the whole story. They said he was brought back to New York, and that's all bullshit. I know that the contract was given to the Genovese family. There was a captain out in Jersey who had it. He sent his guy down there, and it happened in Ohio, I believe it was. Now, nobody's going to kill a guy, put him in a trunk, and take him back to New York. 4 hours of driving, a cop stops you. What do? You got a guy in the trunk. What do you shoot the cop? Nobody's going to do that. It's foolish stuff. There is a mob, or was a mob in Detroit, and those guys plus these Genovese guys probably buried him at some farm or someplace out there. That makes sense to me. These other stories just don't make sense. Why they would bring him back here? They went to Ohio to kill him. The guy who wrote the book, the Irish guy, the Irishman, that was all bullshit. He didn't kill him. So there's a lot of stories about him. I know the reason why. He lost the union. He went to prison. When he came out, they had put another guy in to control the union. And they liked Hoffa. When he came out, they told him, listen, you know about the union stuff. This guy's pretty good. You sit with him and help him. You can't legally you can't be back in the union anyway. You're a convicted felon. You went to prison for it. But you take care of him, and when the money comes down, we'll give you a nice hunk of the pie, and you give us the rest. He told them, no, it's mine. I created it. I'm taking it over again. They told him, this ain't a candy store. This is ours. It always was ours. We allowed you to run it. He wouldn't take that as an answer, and that was his death sentence. That's why he got killed. They did want him to stay in. They had nothing against him. You're not going to tell 2, 3, 4 families who are controlling this, no. And think you're going to get away with it. That's their money. That's their candy store. They're allowing you to run it. When he didn't take that advice, he got hit. But I didn't know him, never met him, heard the story, thought it was crazy. I don't know why he didn't back up. And they didn't want him, he could have stayed there in the background with this new president of the union and get a piece of the pie. Why not? He's still there. But he decided to do what he wanted to do.
Sammy, do you remember anybody named Todd Curtis? He said that he's watching and he worked on your horse farm. I do. Matter of fact, his Todd Curtis is his father or his uncle was the caretaker to the place, and they took care of the place, mending the fences, painting, cleaning up with the horses. Yes, I do know. He's watching you right now.
Wow. Hey, Todd, great. You were great. You and your cousin. Who was your cousin? That was your uncle, right? The guy who was running the place for me. And this was either his son or his nephew.
Very cool.
Yeah, I know. I haven't heard his name in 100 years. It just, as soon as you said Todd Curtis, popped right in my head.
That's
I
really
also
cool.
have one more question from TikTok.
Okay.
Do you have any stories about your Atlantic City trips?
Wait, hang on, because they can't hear you over here. Do you have any more stories about what?
Your Atlantic City trips.
Atlantic City trips.
My Atlantic City trips, I went back and forth to Atlantic City. Sometimes I went there to meet Nicky Scarfo or people like that. They were business trips. Sometimes I went there just to gamble. A couple of times we went there with girls just to hang out and have a good time, have some drinks, gamble, fuck around a little bit. So that was my experience with Atlantic City. It was, Atlantic City was a shithole before the gambling came. Nobody was there. And when casinos came in, it built up to be a tourist area and stuff like that. But it was really, really deteriorated. It was a slum, actually.
All right, real quick, before I finish off these last couple of questions, can you give a special happy birthday shout out to Sean McPeak? He's the one that made you the nice little coasters and stuff for Lily.
Happy birthday, Sean. And those are great coasters.
Happy birthday, Sean. Everybody can say happy birthday to Sean in the chat. All right, we have a question from Ryan Brown. How many sons did Angelo Ruggiero have? Did they all follow him into the life? I know Torre followed his father, Frank Lucasio, into the life. Did you know all the sons?
I knew Torre Lucasio, Frankie's son. I didn't know Angelo's son. I think I know for sure, he had an older one. I think a younger one too. I didn't know the younger one. I didn't know the older one either, to tell you the truth. I knew of him, but I didn't know Angelo's kids, no.
Okay. Last question is from, I want to say it's supposed to be Sweet Chung. Hi guys, Sammy, did you know Barney Balomo?
Yes, I know him well. Good guy, tough guy, serious dude. We didn't hang out, but I knew him well. Chin thought the world of him. I know that. And he was like a protege for Chin. So, and I did know him, met him a bunch of times. He's a good guy, tough guy, for real type of guy.
Okay, that was the questions that I have. You've got people from all over the world tuning in right now. Sammy, you got people from Peru, Holland, New Zealand, the UK, California, New Orleans, Virginia, Italy, France, Australia.
Australia. Now I know I'm getting to know a lot of people in Australia. I've got all kinds of
Colombia.
messages back and forth from Australia, and you guys, I love you guys. And, you send beautiful messages and stuff like that, and all over the world, everybody who comes in, it's a pleasure hearing from you guys. When I did my book, The Underboss, it sold in a short period of time well over 1 million copies. And it sold in 14 countries, which shocked me. Now I have a podcast, and I'm in about 20 different countries, I think, right now, the last count I heard. And I really appreciate it. I get a lot of great messages from people in different countries, really nice messages, which surprises me. I mean, I get great messages from people in the United States, but some got these shitheads still always. But in other countries, I got a great audience that really, really sends great messages or questions or stuff like that, and I appreciate it a lot.
Everybody right now is dropping in the chat. Now, when I asked you guys earlier in the chat, everybody ignored. I only got 4 people that responded, but now that I named them off, everybody wants to drop where they're from. We've got Canada, Sweden, Greece, Ethiopia, Boston, Bulgaria, Brooklyn. Shout out to all of you guys.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
That's not another country. That's.
I didn't say it was a country.
Oh,
I'm just giving you a name.
I was gonna say, bro, I came from Brooklyn. I'm not from another country.
No. All right, I'm going to hop off the mic and turn it over to my lovely Anna so I can talk to you guys in the chat. Over to you, Anna.
Bye, spicy. What's a spicy spice in Yemen?
In Yemen? Oh, man.
Like Italians have the pepper, like the red pepper.
Yeah,
That's spicy. What do you guys have?
God.
a bomb.
Like a bomb. We have jalapenos in Mexico.
She'll blow your ass up.
Think about that.
Yeah, go ahead. Sammy, I have Pizza Dave in the super chat. I don't know what this means. Maybe you can explain it for the rest of us. How mobbed up was L&B Spumoni?
Who?
L&B Spumoni? Was that like a creamery?
I'm not sure. Alan B. Simone. I'm
Pizza-
not sure.
Pizza Dave, give us a little more context, please. Sean Mark, Sammy, can you talk about Nino Gaggi? Did you know him?
I knew Nino well, came out of Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. A very powerful captain, a tough guy. He ran the DeMeo crew. Roy DeMeo was a May guy, and he was with Nino Gaggi. And a real tough guy, good guy. I don't think he was physically, like a tough guy, but he'll kill you in a fucking minute. He was a thin guy, good-looking guy, had them dark sunglasses. Real serious dude. I mean, he was involved in a murder with a captain. He didn't actually get full permission. He was going to kill this captain. And he went in a car. I'll tell you the story quick. He went in a car with two captains, the guy he wanted to kill and another captain. He was sitting in the middle of them, in the back seat. The captain who they wanted to kill, his son was driving the car, and they were going to pick up Roy DeMeo, they thought. When the kids stopped the car, Roy DeMeo opened up the door, boom, he hit the driver. The two captains moved, Nino put his elbows back and pushed both of them back. The captain he was going to kill, the father of the kid he just killed, he killed him too. They got out of the car. There was a shootout, basically. A cop overheard, saw, whatever. He wasn't a cop, he was off-duty something or other. Security guard or transit guy or some shit. But he had a gun and he's like a cop. And they shoot Nino. And the two guys, the captain in the car who wasn't meant to be hit, Nino let him go out. They both went out. Nino got shot. They both got arrested. Roy found out that Nino was shot. Roy had left and threw the gun in the sewer. But when he found out, he went back to the sewer, broke it open, went into the fucking sewer, got the gun, went to a barrel, shot it, took the barrel, the gun, the bullet, and the casing, and got a connection in the hospital, went in the hospital, dug the fucking bullet out of Nino's neck, the cop's bullet, and replaced it with this bullet. So when Nino's lawyers went to court, the cop took the stand, and they said he's lying. Nino said, I was in the car, there was a hit, the driver was killed, this other guy sitting next to me was killed, I was shot, I got out, I started to run. The cop shot at me, but he never hit me, it's a lie. And the other guy said the same thing. So they went to ballistics, and they took the shell, the casing. And the casing wasn't from the cop's gun, it was from the actual gun that did the shooting. And they beat the case. Now that's wild. That story floated around a little bit. Roy DeMeo had a lot of balls to do what he did. Not the shooting part. He was a killer, we know that. But to go back and break into a fucking sewer drain and go in the fucking thing and get the bullet out and think about all of that shit to replace the bullet in his neck and all of that, that's wild. But it's a true story. Mm-hmm. So that's Nino Gaggi with the bullet in his neck. And he just turned around to Roy DeMeo, from what I heard, dig it the fuck out, and turned his neck. No painkillers, no nothing. Roy went in with a knife, opened his fucking neck up where the bullet would be in, and dug it out, and replaced it with the other shell. That's a ballsy fucking move. You could imagine how tough this guy was. He went after one of my Rampa friends, and he was at a party with his family. It's a long story. I'm not going to tell you the whole story. And his nephew came,
Dominic,
and even Roy DeMeo came, and they said the guy that they were looking for, he's on 20th Avenue and 86th Street. He said, good. It was at a family party. He said, we'll be right back. They got guns. They got in the car, went to 20th Avenue and 86th Street. They killed the guy, and then went back to the party. So he's a tough guy.
yeah.
He's a ballsy guy. You got him on your back. And then he's controlling that whole Roy DeMeo crew. So I knew him very well.
Yes.
You know, he was on a club not even a quarter of a mile from where we were. And he was very friendly with my Tato. So I would see him a lot, not for me, coming down for me, but coming down for Tato. And I would see him all the time. And they know, how you doing, bro? Good, Sammy, what are you doing? You're playing cards? Yeah, he's just sociable guy, and Tato told me a long time ago, he's super fucking dangerous, bro. Super dangerous. So,
What's
yeah,
incredible? Sorry, go ahead.
No, so I knew him very, very well.
So what's incredible is all the girls were flocked around the table this morning because one of your fans sent in an actual Roy DeMeo check that he had made out to someone from 1979, and he mailed it in to ask for your signature on it. And we were just all
Yeah, I was blown
stunned.
away. I signed the check, by the way, and I think we're sending it back. We sent it back already? Mm-hmm. Okay, I signed the check, but it was unbelievable. You know, a lot of times I'll get a check or something. I forgot who it was. I got a check from, I think, Lucille Ball
Oh my gosh.
signed the check, and I got the check, the actual check. Art gave it to me.
Oh wow, yeah.
And I don't even know what I did with it, but I got it, and it was from Lucille Ball. You know, things like that is incredible, you know,
Yeah.
to have or to see, even see them. I just got a drawing from, what's his name?
Oh, Ross Bradar with Dominic Montiglio.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, he wasn't a heavy duty, not for nothing. He was. I mean, the guy looked like a Chinese hitman. I don't know what he was.
No.
He was supposed to be a Sicilian hitman, but he looked Chinese. Didn't he look Chinese?
He had the little like
Yeah,
thing,
that
the
little-
little sausage on the lip.
Speaking of cops, Sammy, we have another question on TikTok. Can you tell us about the New York Police Department officer and the Iceman?
Yeah, it's a long story. It's in my thing. The Iceman was full of shit. He wasn't really a hitman. But the cop story is a true story. The Iceman, when he was in prison with this guy, Bobby Kaburk. And Bobby Kaburk must have known about this murder of the cop. And he told it to the Iceman. The Iceman made a story, became a witness that me and him killed this cop. 21 years prior, it was a cold case, and I got arrested on the case. But we wound up beating, long story short, we beat the case. Case was over. It's a great story.
Oh man.
And it's going to be in my show in Hollywood when we do the show, it's for sure.
Yeah.
But the Iceman was a fucking fake. You know, we found out he killed a couple of people. He said he killed 200 people. He was a serial killer. He was full of shit. So it's an interesting story. It's a weird story. He said he met me in Roy DeMeo's club, and now when the FBI asked me and everybody asked me, I said, listen, I don't know. I went to Roy DeMeo's club. Sometimes there's 10, 15 guys there, and he's introducing me, and I'm shaking people's hand. Now, there may be a picture of me shaking his hand, but I don't, I may have met him for 2 seconds. I don't know. I don't remember him at all. But I definitely didn't do this murder with him, with the cop. That's bullshit, straight up. But the cops, the FBI and prosecutors knew the story. They knew it was bullshit. But Jersey indicted me anyway on the strength of him. And we wind up beating the case. Later, those same Jersey cops came back to me, and because I know who killed them now. Through the FBI and everybody, I knew who killed the cop, and I know what happened. And they came back and they wanted to arrest the guys who did it. And they asked me to help them. I told them, you know what you could suck on, bro? I don't want to say it, but that's what you could suck on. Helped you? I'm not going to fucking help. You indicted me knowing I didn't have nothing to do with this fucking murder. Bro,
Yeah.
you could take a fucking walk. So, but it's a long story. It's a great story. And it's really about two cops. Two cops, their wives were going to leave them. They wind up killing their wives. And the one cop who gets killed, the girl's family killed the cop, not me, not the Iceman. So it's a tremendous story. It'll be in my movie, that's for sure. And I think I did a video about it, I'm not sure.
Nice. Thank you, Sterling. Thank you, Sammy. Let's see. GT Joe PM in the super chat. Salute, Sammy. I was born in Yugoslavia. Do you have any more funny stories about your old friend Bosco?
Bosco, he was the best. He was a funny bastard. He was a tough guy. He was really a tough guy. When he went back to Yugoslavia, he was Milosevic's right-hand man. He was his hitman. When Milosevic wanted people dead, he would give it to Bosco. Bosco go kill them. He was a tough guy, no doubt about it. But a little crazy. Me and him fixed, more him. He had a juror who was the head juror in the Gaggi trial. I went there, I met the guy, I gave him a ton of fucking money, $60,000 in different payments. John beat the case. But he did so many crazy things. I'm outside the club and down Mulberry Street, and Bosco comes up. Hey, Sammy, he says he had a limo. And he says, Sammy, I got something for John. I said, what? He says, I got it in the limo. So I said, okay, let me see. I walked across to the limo. He opened up the limo. There's 3 broads, two or three in the thing, snorting coke, half naked. They're hookers. I said, Bosco, are you fucking crazy? I closed the fucking door right away. I said, there's FBI watching us all the time, news people down here. You think John's gonna come out of the club and get in this car with these broads snorting coke? Are you fucking crazy, bro? If you even tell him something like this, he'll kill you. What are you, crazy or what, bro? Get in the car, get the fuck out of here. I'm not even gonna tell him you were here. But he wasn't a bad guy, he was a good guy. He got busted years later after I was done cooperating. And they knew he fixed the jury and this and that and the other thing. They wanted to flip him so that he could testify against Milosevic in the world court. It was a big deal. And they wanted me to testify against him about fixing the trial so that he would be found guilty and they could flip him. I said no. They had to let him go. They held him 5 months. Without me, they couldn't find him guilty. They had to let him go. And he went back. A news guy from, what was that big magazine that he's in? He tells the story about.
Oh,
me.
Esquire.
Esquire. An Esquire news guy goes out there and stays with him for months and months and months. And he talks about me, how much he loved me. He said, Sammy told the government to go fuck themselves, and they couldn't, they had to let me go.
Yeah.
I owe my life to him. If he's got a problem with somebody, I hope he lets me know. He's that type
Hey, Bosco,
of guy.
how you doing?
Yeah. So anyway, he died. He died in Yugoslavia, some sort of sickness, something with his feet, because the reporter wrote all these things. And he controlled, he loved broads. He was like a pimp. Loved, to hook people up with broads and stuff. And he wasn't in charge, and he really wasn't a pimp, but he was a tough guy, legitimate, but he loved playing with coke and broads and, and he would party. And he went down to John, the worst place you could have went to do that, especially right on Mulberry Street, where there's surveillance all over the place. When I opened that door, I just closed the door right away. I said, oh my God, I hope there's no news people watching this.
Oh my God.
So I didn't get in the car anyway. So anyway, he left. So he did a lot of crazy things. He was a legitimate tough guy, not only for the mob, and he ran the Westies. The Westies is an Irish mob. When the bosses were gone, I don't know, he's not Irish, he's Yugoslavian. Or Czechoslovakia. What is she? Yugoslavia?
Yugoslavian, I think.
So they made him the boss. And a lot of people said, how'd they make him the boss? I said, I don't know. He's a tough guy. Maybe that's why they made him the boss. But he was the boss of an Irish mob while he was in New York. And then he went back to where he was, and he was fighting in the wars.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Tough guy, good guy.
Yeah, we should link that article in Esquire. Because
we should.
You have the magazine here in the studio.
Yeah.
It's cool. Spumoni, that L&B Spumoni was a pizza place on 86th Street.
What's the name of it?
Spumoni, L&B Spumoni.
Yeah. That's a great place.
Was it mobbed up? Was there a lot of wise guys hanging around?
Yeah, a lot of guys went there, to eat. The food was great. Everything was great. And so a lot of guys there, I don't know if they just hung out there. They might have been outside, or they may have had a club not too far away from it. So I don't know if there was a lot of mob guys. I know it was great stuff.
Yeah. J. Marie in the super chat. Hey, boss, do some captains have more power than others? And do they all have a crew? Can you please break down the power structure and their duties? Thank you, Skip.
Say it again. What do you mean by the power structure?
So, like in these, do the captains have more power than others? Are some captains more powerful than others?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. It depends on the crew that you're in. Some captains have very little power. They don't have a lot of tough guys in their crew. They may have gamblers and gambling people or racketeer type of guys. But the tough crews is usually a tough captain, and he's got tough guys with him. And those are stronger crews. As the crew becomes a little closer with the administration, with the boss, a lot of times they'll be bigger. The crews will be bigger. Some crews have got 3, 4 guys. Some crews have got 10, 15 guys, made guys. Then they got associates. So the crews will become very big, more powerful, more connections. And Tato had a nice heavyweight crew. I eventually took it over, but he had a good crew, tough guys. But he was around a long time. It was like this with Carlo Gambino. Mm-hmm. He actually won the war for Carlo Gambino. We found out later. Mm-hmm. So Tato was well respected. Had a lot of tough guys in his crew. And the bosses leaned towards that. When I was transferred from the Colombo people, where I wound up, boom, with Tato in a strong crew. Mm-hmm. Neil Della Croce, well, he was the underboss, but very powerful. So there was a lot of guys who had big, powerful crews, and guys who didn't have that big of a crew or that powerful crew. Sometimes they have people who work with longshoremen or unions or stuff like that. And some crews have a lot of shooters in the crew. Mm-hmm. So there's, it's different. Some captains are much more powerful.
Thank you. There you go, J. Marie. Can we please get a shout out, Sammy, for acting fun for Lions, your girl?
Hey. That's my girl.
Mm-hmm. She had a weekly envelope for you, boss.
Oh, great.
As well as Miss Tammy, how do you say this last name? Dute? Miss Tammy.
Miss Cammy?
Tammy, like Tammy Lynn Baker.
All right,
Tammy.
all right.
Okay, let's jump to another super chat. Let's see. Little pressure washing would like to know, what would it cost to come visit you and have you sign my painting I got from Michael Francis? It would be an honor to fly out and take you to lunch.
Is this the guy who we got the painting? There's a guy who stopped. He did the painting for Michael Francis with all the gangsters in the picture. Well, he came here and took some selfies with me. He gave me the picture. So if it's the same guy, we already did that.
I think it's a new guy.
It's a new guy. Michael Francis giving out pictures.
Paintings. The painting, the big portrait of all the gangsters with you guys. He bought one and he wants to come take you to lunch and have you sign it.
Oh. He bought one of those.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm real busy about going out to lunch. I would definitely consider it, working out with my girls. But right now I'm like a rubber band. I'm being called all over the place between these movies and things I'm working on. I don't even know. I was talking to a friend of mine. We're sending stuff to them, tapes and stuff we just made and some stuff. I don't even know if they're going to call me and sit in a writer's room and I'll be sitting there for 3 days. We were just talking about, there's another guy calling me from California and wants to know if I would go to California and do a show with him, or he would fly down here. So there's a ton of things going on. So I really don't want to promise, but keep in touch with my girls, talk with them. If I could work it out and I'm around, you're one of my people, I would love that.
Nice. Very generous, Sammy. It's awesome. Let's see. Mike Alvarez Jr. Do you know any relations with Cosa Nostra, the American Mafia, and La Mexican Mafia, especially since both use the Black Hand?
Yeah, I never knew the Mexican Mafia to use the Black Hand, but maybe they did. In prison, I knew most of the Mexican mafias, La Familia and different Mexican mafia groups. Most of them I knew in prison. Some of them, when I came out the first time before I went back the second time, I moved into a neighborhood. I moved right in their lap by accident. I think I told that story a few times. And while I was moving into this place, there was a shooting. They were shooting, chasing a black guy and Mexicans, and they were shooting at him. I heard it because I had just got out. I had a gun on me. I went for my gun right away. I didn't know what it was. And I saw what it was. I put my gun away, and I left. The next day when I came back, I was still moving furniture into the apartment. Cops came to me. They said, "You were moving here yesterday." I said, "Yeah." They said there was a shooting. Yeah, I heard there was. Yeah, what about it? Well, tell us what you saw. Now, unbeknownst to me, right next door, the next yard, the head of this Mexican gang was standing right there. It's his apartment. He was standing right there, listening to me. And I said, I didn't see it. I heard somebody told me there was a shooting, but I didn't see it. I didn't hear it. I wasn't here. I was moving in and out. I wasn't here when whatever happened. And the cops left. A day later, he approached me and told me, "I know you were here when it happened. I know you saw it." Now, when I saw him coming over to my car, back then I always had a gun. I took the gun out and I put it right to the car door, so I could shoot right through the door. And when he came up to the car, I opened the window and I said, "How could I help you?" And he said, "I knew you were here yesterday. I heard you talking to the cops. You saw it." I said, "I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see shit. I was moving here." He said, "Listen, I know you saw it, and I'm not mad. I'm happy that you did that." A day or so later, he came back to me again and told me, he says, "Now I know who you are. You're Sammy the Bull." I said, "Yeah, I am." He said, I appreciate what you did. I know you saw it. He said, if you got problems with people, this is my fucking neighborhood. If you come here, you're either trying to rob me or buy drugs. If you're not here buying drugs, then we're gonna fuck with you. Even if you're an undercover cop, we fuck with them so hard that they get scared and they show their shields. That guy tried to rob us. So I said, well, I'm not that interested in, if that's it. And he said, I want to invite you to my house tomorrow, my apartment. He said, my family's having a party. There'll be, what, women, children, everybody there? Yeah. Would you like to come? I said, yeah, all right. Now, I thought about it, safe. If they're looking to hurt me, it's not going to be in a party with their mothers, daughters, children. So I bought some sausage, I bought some shit to bring to the party, a little wine, and I went to the party. And they treated me great. When I would come in at home at night, I'd come in maybe 1 o'clock in the morning, I would see guys standing there. That's their security. They would hit their chest, put their hand out, because he told them all who I was and what I did and said. And they treated me real good. One day he told me, he says, listen, Sammy, if you got a problem with anybody looking for you and they come here, bro, they're done. They're not coming here to buy drugs. They're coming here to rob us or to hurt you. They're done. I thought that was great. It was like having a security team, 15 different Mexican guys who thought the world of me. Great. I didn't interact too much with them. A couple of their little senoritas, I flirted with them a little bit, but it was great. And so those are the people I met, but mostly people in prison. But those guys in the street, I knew them for quite a while. The whole time I lived there, I got pinched the second time around for the ecstasy bullshit in that apartment, in that unit. So, and then I never saw them again. I got 20-year sentence. I didn't come out for 18 years. God knows where they are or what happened. But
Wow.
haven't seen them.
Thank you, Sammy. Incredible. Martez Brown. Hey, Sammy. Who would you like to see play your role when your movie comes out?
The guy who played Pinky Blinders,
Murphy?
Cillian Murphy, there's something about him that reminds me of myself. When I love that program, Pinky Blinders, and I watched it a couple of times. Every time, especially the first time, he had a problem, I always said I would do this, this, and this. And the movie would go, and he did exactly what I would have done. And he had the expression, he didn't get excited at certain points and stuff. He just reminded me so much of me. I don't think he looks like me. He's younger, he's Irish, he's got freckles. But I really think he's a great actor. Then he played Oppenheimer. I saw that. I think he did a great job there. So I think he's a great actor. I would love to have him. He won an Oscar. I don't think I could get him. He's too expensive and he's probably tied up. Yeah. But I did talk to the producers and the people I'm with. Yeah. And I says I would love to have him if we can get him. But when they get that big, it's hard to get them. My scripted show is probably going to be a long thing. They don't want that. They want to do a movie here, a movie here, a movie here. They make 10 times the amount of money.
Yeah.
So the real part, I probably won't be able to get them. I know they're thinking and talking to people right now, but some of them are high-level actors, and I don't think they're going to get them either because it's the same thing. It's a scripted show is a long period of time. These guys, they want an in and out, make $10 million in and out, boom, gone. I don't blame them. And I told them, I said, listen, whoever you guys pick, just go with me. As long as it's not Danny DeVito. I will fucking go crazy if you pick Danny DeVito to play me, bro. Don't do that.
The Penguin? Oh, my God. Speaking of which, gas can lip. Sammy, please tell Robert De Niro that acting in Casino and Goodfellas does not make him a mobster, even if he owns a shark skin suit made out of Jaws.
You know, I agree with you 100%. I'm not supposed to get political. I don't like him. I really don't like him. And at one time, years ago, they told me something that John reached out for him and wanted me. They were going to do Witness to the Mob or this or that to get bad actors, get bad. They wanted me to look bad. And he went along with it, from what I understand. I don't know if it's true. And I heard it a long time ago when I was a little younger, and I wanted to break his jaw, to tell you the truth. I wanted to meet him, and I want to put my fist right down his fucking throat. You know what I mean? You're no tough guy, bro. You play a tough guy in a movie. You're an actor. You know, and then now you carry it in the street. I hear him talking about Trump and this and that, the other thing. Bro, anybody who gloats over somebody's misery,
Yeah.
I don't like you. What they're doing to Trump is so unfair. Now, I'm going to say it, talk about it. If I get in trouble, I get in trouble. You know, I don't understand and I understand law a little bit, criminal law. What's criminal? He had an affair with a porn star. It's not illegal. He was married. He wanted, and he's going to run for president. He wanted to hush it up. I don't blame him. Wouldn't you do that? A woman, if she had an affair with somebody, she don't want her husband to find out. Does she want to hush it up? That's not a crime. How is this guy on trial? Then they get her on the stand, and did he wear a rubber? In a criminal, what the fuck is the difference if he wore a rubber or not? Is it big or is it small? This is a criminal. You're destroying a guy's life. He's an ex-president of the United States, whether you like him or not. How would you do that? How could you accept that? How could you stand there and applaud this fucking jerk, Robert De Niro, is fucking mouthing off like, and you just abused your secretary or something, and you got in trouble and had to pay $2-3 million. You, of all people, are gonna fucking root against the guy. I mean, why don't you shut your fucking punk ass mouth? And if you really want to be a gangster or act like a gangster, come and talk to me. Maybe I could put you in my movie on a stretcher. I'm going to show you what a real gangster is.
TikTok says, preach. Hell yeah.
TikTok's
Yeah.
going
This
crazy.
woke little bitch that he is, you know, and I hate when people kick somebody when they're down. I hate it. I hate when somebody gets in trouble, a man or a woman or something, and we're there to kick her down or kick him down. I hate people like who do that. I really despise that in a big way. You know, I cooperated. I don't like seeing people go to prison. I mean, especially the ex-president of the United States. If you hate him or like him, either way, what the fuck did he do wrong, bro? He did good things for the country. Maybe you don't like the way he talks. I don't like the way he talks either sometimes. But we want to just bash the guy down to nothing? Especially in New York, people are cheering. Now, I grew up in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, New York. And I have seen this guy do things, miracles for New York. He built beautiful buildings all over the fucking place. They couldn't build an ice skating ring. He came in, took it over in no time flat, and spent a lot of his own money and built this fucking ice skating ring for New York. And you hate him? Why? For what reason? Because he had sex with a porn star? We all want to do that. We have this whole freaky fucking thing, men. We have a wife, we have normal sex. Call it normal. Now this bitch is going to make your hair stand up because she's a stone fucking freak. We all want that, bro. So what the fuck did he do? He had sex with a porn star. When I think about it, I never had sex with a porn star. I think I'd like to have sex with a porn star. I'd like to see how it is with a fucking stone maniac freak. I think I'd like that. Is that a criminal offense? I don't get it. And I really don't like it. I really don't. And people like him mouthing off about people, I'll take him, and Joe Biden, I'll take him behind the bun. You'll take him behind the bun, and what, blow him? You take him behind the bun. I don't want to get, let me get off of this. I don't want to
Okay.
get
I've got a
started.
good question for you, Sammy.
All right.
There's a pin on my dad's old jacket, Italian Civil Rights League. What was it? He passed in 2018.
The Italian-American Civil Rights League was that, they invented the RICO law to put Italians away. It was specifically for Italians. And there was a lot of prejudice against Italians early on. People don't remember it, but early on, Italians don't keep complaining about it. But it was formed for that reason. Joe Colombo formed the Italian-American Civil Rights League, and people joined. A lot of Jews joined because they, felt a camaraderie with us. A lot of groups. There was even some Muslim groups who joined us a little bit. And it was just everyday working people. The Mafia's got a bad name. Now, the Mafia is 100,000 people out of millions of Italians who've done so many things for this country. And you do that right across the board. We seem to want to label like the Mexican Mafia. There are so many Mexican people in this country that work their fucking ass off every day of the week, building things, helping people. And I know a lot of Mexican people, legitimate people, not the Mexican Mafia, but legitimate ones. Good, hard-working fucking people. But we want to label them like they're all Mafia. No, they're not. There's a lot of good Mexican people. There's a lot of good Italian people who never cracked an egg. My mother and father never cracked an egg. And when I say cracked an egg, I mean did anything harmful to anybody in any way, shape, or form. Really, really good people who worked hard. And we want to label them. And I hate that. It's another thing I hate. We do that with black people. We'll do it with Hispanic people. We'll do it with Italian people. We'll do it with Irish people sometimes. They're all drunks. Listen, they like to drink, the Irish, but they're not all drunks. But we love labeling people. And it's the people who do that labeling, like Robert De Niro is doing now, that I hate. I hate them. Because now you're labeling everybody. Now he's saying everybody who likes Trump, New York, you're nothing more than a filthy gangster. You punk, you made your name and reputation and millions of dollars on being a gangster or trying to act like a gangster. And now you're knocking these people and belittling them and calling them gangsters? And who are you referring to when you're calling them gangsters? It would be like using the M-word. What if he said not gangsters, he's referring to us Italian people? What if he used an M-word? Would you like that now with him? Well, it becomes time when Italians, black, Hispanic, Jews, Irish, German, whatever the fuck you are, men and women, stick together and say enough of your woke bullshit. We want to get along with everybody. We want to respect everybody. What's wrong with that? When I go to the gym, I love opening the door. I'm always looking behind me because if somebody's even 15 feet away, I'll wait and open the door for them. There's nothing like getting a beautiful smile from somebody. Thank you so much. Because you could have walked in and closed the door, and then they got to open it. It's so easy to be nice when you want to be. Sometimes I think it's very cruel to be cruel. If that makes any kind of sense. What do you think, Lily? Lily's got all twisted up like she's look like. What about dogs? Oh, all right. That's why she's mad at me. And let's not fuck around with dogs. Dogs are man's best friend, and we
That's
love
right.
them, right? Well, all right.
Lily Bean. Okay, Eddie in the super chat. Sammy, when and what was the moment you realized that the empire was crumbling down? Could it have been prevented, and could it rise to previous power again?
If you mean the Mafia, no. I think it'll never rise again. You know, everything and everybody has their time and place in life. Time goes on. You know, the most beautiful women in the world, 50 years later, they're not that beautiful. It changes. Time changes everything. Your looks, your mind, what goes on, and what they teach in schools. This is another topic I can't stand. What they're teaching these kids is horrible. And we're going to deal with that later on in life. Maybe not me, but a lot of people are going to deal with that. We have to be careful on how we teach our kids and who's teaching them and who's putting garbage into their brain. So, but everything changes. Life just keeps changing. That's not up to us. You know, go back 100 years, everything changed. When I went to prison and I did almost 18 years straight, there was no such thing as these phones. A lot of these computers didn't exist. YouTube didn't exist. When I came out, everything was foreign to me. That was only 18 years. And those things, AI, all these things, it'll never change. It'll change. It may get worse. It may be better. Who knows? But it's always going to change. Somebody else will invent something. Somebody else will do something. Everything changes. But to go change and go back to something that didn't work, I doubt it. I hope not. Listen, I got 22 years of my life, a little over 22 years of my life in prison. Do I want it again? No. Do I want my children or grandchildren? No. All my friends and people on these shows, do I want it for you? No. There's a lot of things you can do in life without looking over your shoulder. Everything has a time and a place. I don't care what it is. Whether Irish people had a tough time, Italian people, black people, Hispanic people, you name it. Everybody's had a tough time. Jews, everybody. No, I don't think it'll ever go back to what it was. The people are different now. I look a lot of these kids who get jobs and stuff, and you know, when there was World War II, the Vietnam War, there's kids who grew up and fought wars and lost their lives. I think about that a lot because I'm a veteran. And I think what I see now, who would fight this next war? These kids are so fucking weak mentally. They're not the same type of kid. They grow up woke. They grow up, a guy is wearing a dress. Now, I don't care. He could. It's okay with me. But is he going to fight a war for me? No. Is some of these kids going to fight wars? No. Everything changes. So what are we? How are we going to fight wars? With nuclear weapons? So instead of killing thousands or millions, we'll kill 1 billion people. Nothing changes. Everything changes. Nothing stays the same. Everything. How men think, how women think, everything. Styles. Sometimes a style could come back in style. That's just styles. But I don't think anything would come back to what it was. I think it's over. And you got to go on with your life and go with the flow. You got to change your life, just like I did. Just like there's a lot of guys on shows. I can mention names. I don't even want to mention names. I'll mention Michael Franchise changed his life. He's whatever. And so there's a lot of people who've changed their lives. My friend Anthony changed his life. He had a drug problem. He changed that. He had the mob problem. He changed that. So people change. People change. And hopefully people change for the better. Right now, I see things for the worse, things that happen. I hope it changes from those people too. And it changes for the better. But we'll see.
You know, to piggyback on that, Sammy, I know a lot of your viewers chat in about going through tough times and asking for your advice. We have another one, Sergio, in your super chat. He is from Romania, and he wants to know, Sammy, what do you do when you are sad?
When I'm sad, you know, I don't know if it's older age. Sometimes I choke up and my eyes water. I think it's old age. I go sit by myself and I think. And I think of memories, good times. I think of my mother, my father, who I've lost. I think of my sisters, nieces, nephews, friends. I listened to my Peruta tape today. I was listening to it with Sterling. It brought tears to my eyes. I didn't want Sterling to see that. So I had my hand near my face to try to hide. I can't help it. I get emotional. I look at it. But I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to revisit it. You know, I had a friend a long time ago. And he had cancer as well, not Peruta, somebody else. And it was towards the end, a lot of pain. And one day I went to see him and he had smiling. And I said, what are you smiling about, bro? You know, a ton of pain. He said, Sammy, I feel no pain. You're taking painkillers and shit. No. Then how could you not feel pain? He says, I feel love. I don't think about pain. I don't think about bad things. I think about all of the love I had in my life. Love overcame his pain. He still had a smile on his face. He still was in pain. But he thought of all the good things, the good people, not the bad things or bad people or the pain. Love overcomes pain and suffering. So, you know, loving one another, they made songs about it. I'm starting to sound like a preacher or something, but love overcomes a lot of things in life. So if I'm sad or I think back or something's bothering me, I'll sit alone and I'll think of good things. I told a friend of mine just recently, we haven't seen each other in a bunch of years, and I said, we have good memories, me and you, don't we? The person said, yes, we did. We could never lose that. We could keep those memories for the rest of our lives. Don't push them out of our mind. We're nothing more than friends. But we have those memories. They're ours to keep. So if you do things like that, you can bring yourself up again. I feel sad on occasions. I lost a lot of people, a lot of friends, in a lot of fucked up ways, family members, good people. I know a doctor, and I don't want to say her name out here, and I became very friendly with her. She's vibrant, she was beautiful. Everything about her was nice. I got a call, my son is inside, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago. She committed suicide. I was fucking completely shocked. I still am. She's a doctor. She had money. She was a vibrant, beautiful, look-wise, figure-wise, everything about her. She committed suicide. What a fucking shame. You know, but that's life. Sometimes, you know, things happen And I can't get her out of my head. I wasn't having an affair with her, nothing like that. It wasn't close. I mean, I liked her as a person. And I still, I heard it 3 weeks ago, whatever it was, and I still feel for that. I just can't even believe that. So, life has a lot of ups and downs, bumps in the road, and a lot of these kids, I was telling my son the other day, that a lot of these kids, they don't even know what a bump in the road is. And they're 25, 27, 28, 30. What do they do when they get a little older and they hit bumps in the road? We're all gonna hit bumps in the road. I don't care what it is. Bad news, bad health, bad anything. Something's gonna hit bumps in the road. What do? They don't even know how to handle anything. So, you know, sometimes you gotta get used to change and bumps in the road. So I don't think it'll ever go back, my friend. And I might have a lot of good memories back there. I loved a lot of people in Cosa Nostra. Everybody complains it's bad people. Not the people I knew, I loved them. They were good people, good families. Yeah, they're tough guys and they did things. So do a lot of other people. So, you know.
Thank you, Sammy. There you go, Sergio. Hope it gets better. We're here for you. Always chat in. Sammy will give you advice anytime. Okay. Gas Can Lip would like to know, do you have any advice on buying a car and talking down the seller or the dealership? And what would Sammy do during negotiating a deal?
You know, I saw a thing with, matter of fact, it was Robert De Niro who did it. When he's selling the car, he was a salesman, and people are going to buy the car, and he talks with them. So now he gets disgusted in the conversation, and he starts saying things, and the people say, "Well, I want to talk to the manager," and he grabs his crotch and says, "Here's the manager. They want to talk to you. Tell them, oh, get the fuck out. Well, get the fuck out. You heard him. That's the manager, bro." So I think I would get into that kind of a conversation, but I don't know. I don't know how to knock down cars. I'm not a good car salesman or something. You know, they have numbers. You know, years ago, before I got pinched with this ecstasy case, I had a lot of money. I went and we bought, my daughter and my son will remember this. I went in and I wanted to buy a car. So I says, I really like them. They give me the whole spiel and, and he says, are you interested in two? I said, yeah, possibly. And he went down in numbers. I said, good, give me 4 cars. I bought one for myself, one for my ex-wife, one for my son, and one for my daughter. The guy thought I was joking. You're buying 4 cars? I think I made the salesman's his day, his week, his year with that. But I'm not a good salesman with cars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're stuck into a spot somewhere. You know, they have a little bit of play, but I don't know.
Yeah. M Driver 1981, Sammy, hello. What are your thoughts on space exploration?
I think it's a good thing. You know, anything like that, if they could find a place where it's livable, it's, I think that, populations grow. I think that planets get beat up. No matter what we do, all that greenhouse, that's bullshit. These are planets. These things are huge. We're a speck of sand out of the whole picture. I don't care what you do. Smoke, do whatever you're doing. You're nothing. Don't let people bullshit you about Greenpeace and all of that crap. It's all bullshit. The environment is going to change whether you like it or not, no matter what you do. Now, years ago, during the prehistoric age, There was no people doing anything. There was nobody destroying the planet. It almost self-destructed. All the dinosaurs, everything disappeared. Planets are going to do that on their own. Planets are known, stars are known to just explode and disappear. Now, I don't know if that's in our future. And if it is, I hope it's a billion years from now so everybody could live. But we never know. So exploring and try to understand what's going on is a beautiful thing. Now I'm going to get very controversial. When I look back and they built these pyramids and all these things, all the pictures on the wall, they always are pointing up. And are they pointing up to God? Or are they pointing up to something, a flying saucer, or something that's helping them or doing things? Could there be life on other planets? There could be. I think there could be. We're gifted that we're the only planet out of all of these planets. Now, you're going to remember, we got, a half a dozen planets in our, atmosphere, in our
Solar system.
yeah. But you go into other areas, black holes, other places where there's millions and millions of stars, and some of those stars are planets. How do we know what's on those things? So, going forward and wasting some money doing that, I think is a good thing. I think it's a lot of better thing than giving $100 billion to a Ukraine war. I think scientific things about our health is good. If we really want to go forward, AI is a bad thing in a way, but we can use it for good things, but we'll use it for bad things. So we got to learn to, use it for good things. Or we'll, like now they're talking about if we build robots, it's going to replace people. They may really, if they can build themselves, then we put ourselves in a shithole. How do we defend ourselves to their intelligence or powers that they would have? So, I don't know. Now I go into planet Mars. I may go to Jupiter on a trip soon. What do you think, Lo? We go on a trip to Jupiter, see what's going on? I hear there's some sexy pit bulls over there.
Jimmy Horn, can you please give me a shout out, Sammy?
I love you, baby.
There you go, Jimmy.
Oh, that's a guy?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Debbie.
Oh, sorry,
All
Jimmy.
right, Jimmy, I love you too. But I'll leave the baby part out.
Def Camp, Mr. Gravano, what was your preferred weapon to have on you, like for general purposes or daily carry?
A 38 was good. It's not too big to carry around. It's got enough knockdown power. 357 is good. It's a little big, and it's a little more dangerous. 22 is a little light. But they all do damage. It depends on where you shoot the person. A 22, they used to say it was a killer's gun because they would shoot you in the head. The bullet would go into your head, and it didn't have enough power to come out. So it spun around in your head. It made Basta Azul of your brains. It spun around, and before you know it, your brains are splattered. It's all over the place. You're dead. So it was a spy's thing. But if you hit to the chest or somewhere like that, it's not as powerful. Mm-hmm. So I think a 38 is cool. It's cool. But they're all dangerous. Depends on whose hands they're in.
Nice.
We got a follow-up question on that on TikTok. What kind of firearm do you suggest is good for a lady?
A lady, a 38. A 38 is good because it's lightweight, it's easier for her to handle, and it's got knockdown power. I don't care what you are, and I don't care how big the guy is. And I love when a woman has a gun to protect herself and her children. She's home alone. A guy comes in, smashes the door. She don't stand a chance. Her children don't stand a chance. But if she's got a 38 or in her fucking hand or at her access, he comes in, he's nothing compared to that gun, that little bullet. All she's got to do is point it the fuck out of here, turn around and get out, or get on your knees, or whatever she wants to tell him. Or she'll put a hole in his chest. He's going down. I don't give a shit about how big he is or his muscles. And if he don't go down once, boom, 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 2, 3. See how fast he goes down. So a woman should have a way to protect herself. I'm not against that at all. I think when you take away all guns, you leave women helpless. Their husbands go to work, they're home alone. They got the children. They need protection. When you know that this woman, not me, but when if your mind is that twisted and you know this woman's home alone, you kick the door in and she's yours. How does she fight you? You think you could fight me, Sterling? And I'm an old guy. No, I'm strong enough to take you and just bounce you around. I mean, so you need a protection. You need something an equalizer that makes you my equal. Matter of fact, you're not my equal. I'm a little afraid of that gun. You show me that gun, I tell him, all right. Don't get excited. I'm leaving. So that's the way it is. They need that protection. And I think we owe them that.
Awesome. Thank you, Sammy. Danny Murphy, what's up, boss? Who was the biggest earner in your crew, and who was the toughest guy you knew?
Those are good questions. Sammy was a great earner. He's very smart. He was doing the phone things back when there was no such thing. I think he was inventing it, along with other people, but he knew that. He was a good earner, aggressive, tough guy. And the toughest guy, Louis Melito betrayed me, but Louis Melito was as tough as you can get. Louis Melito did a lot of work. He didn't look that type. He was a jolly type of guy in a way. You didn't want to fuck with Louis. Louis Melito was a real tough guy. And equally with so many guys. Frankie the Chico was a tough guy. There's so many. And I'm not talking about Roy DeMeo or Gasp. I'm not talking about serial killers. That's not, I don't put them in the same bracket. These are guys who can hurt you, but they can hold back. They're not looking to hurt you, but they can. And when they're ready to go on it, and I put myself in that category too. When I'm ready to go, you're in trouble. Louis Melito, the same thing. Stymie, the same thing. So there's quite a few of them. There's armies of them. In the Mafia, 99% are affected. In the oath, they tell you, would you kill for the family? If you said no, they would give you a U-turn and out the door. Get the fuck out. You have to be willing to kill for the family. And it's not it's not as bad as it sounds, because they'll do that in the military. Are you willing to kill on orders in the military? And your answer's got to be yes. Or you'll be out of the army. They throw you out. What's the purpose? You're in the military. You have to follow orders, and you're going to be fighting wars and stuff. So, a cop. What if a cop said, no, I'm not willing to kill? Could he be a cop? Of course not. How could you protect? With what? So it's in a lot of different forms of life. Security guards all over the country, protecting kids in schools. You got to be willing to defend, kill, fight back, whatever. So it's in a lot of walks of life. I always loved the conversation I had with a woman who was a psychologist. and she was talking to me about my crimes. And I said, everybody could kill under the right situation. And she said, no, I can't kill. I said, you can't kill? She said, no. I said, you married? She says, I asked the questions. Well, then the conversation's over. If you can't talk back, then the conversation's over. She didn't want the conversation to be over. She said, I'm married. Do you have kids? Yeah, 2, a boy and a girl. Suppose some guy grabbed your little daughter, raped her in such a brutal fucking way that she died. They caught him. And they were going to give him the electric chair or the gas chamber, whatever it is. But there was nobody there to press that button. Now, if nobody shows up, the death penalty is off and he does life in prison. It was your daughter. Nobody's there. Would you press that button? She said, you're damn fucking right, I would. So then, under the right condition, you could. And that's all I said. Not saying that everybody's a killer or anything like that. I said under the right conditions, everybody could. And in some cases like that, I don't blame you, baby. Press that button. I don't give a fuck if it was me on the other end. Press that button. That person don't deserve to live for certain crimes. Not keep him in prison or her in prison for fucking 50 years and feed them and pay for their fucking way. Fuck them. They don't even deserve to breathe. Get rid of them. I'm for capital punishment. I'm not against it. I don't want you to go killing everybody, but I mean, certain crimes, get rid of them.
Yeah. Sergio, the one that was asking about how do you handle being sad, just entered the super chat again. 2 very generous envelopes for you, Sammy. And he is saying, Sammy, you have a great soul and thank you. I'll get the virtual sit down soon and to talk to you about everything. You deserve the verses. Even when I die, I won't need your pity. I was the biggest gangster in New York City. And then he follows up with, on a happier note, who was Ellie Shades? The guy that Gene Borello robbed, not knowing who it was. And Gene said after it was done that everybody was saying, somebody robbed Ellie Shades. And Gene's like, who the fuck's Ellie Shades?
He was a captain in the Genovese family, good guy, tough guy. I knew him well. He gave me that whole club of his for my daughter's Sweet 16. And he was a good guy. And he had a partner there with the bald head, Baldy something, I forgot what his name was. But Ali Shades was a good guy, fair guy.
Nice. Speaking of Gene, he has a birthday on June 6th, if we can give him a shout out from you, Sammy.
Happy birthday, Gene.
Okay. Wolverine in the super chat. Sammy, denying an order in life is a big no-no, mainly a whack job. How come John got away with not carrying the hit on Roy DeMeo ordered by Paul? Because John thought Roy was dangerous? Salute from India.
What happened is John didn't deny it. When Paul gave him the hit, the way it was said, is that John reacted, in a funny way, like he was very nervous about having Roy DeMeo's hit. And Paul picked up on that and said, forget about it. I'll take care of it. And he agreed right away. He didn't say, Paul, why are you doing that? He agreed. And he gave it to Frankie DeChico. Frankie DeChico called me up and said, Sammy, I got Roy's ticket. I knew what that meant. I went to Bath Avenue that night, talked with him. Bro, there's a lot of them, and you got to be very careful. He says, I already made a deal. But what? His 2 guys, the twins, are going to take him out, and we won't kill them because we have a contract on all of them. And they agreed to do it. So I said, okay, but be careful, bro. You know, these guys are really fucking dangerous. And so that's what happened. Then he told me about what happened with John. So I don't know what Paul saw, or I wasn't there, but rumor had it that John didn't react well. Me? You know, one of those jobs. And so Paul picked up on it and took it away from him and gave it to Frank.
Nice. Thank you, Sammy. Before we get to the last super chat, Sammy, can you tell your 1,200 viewers to please press the like button?
Yeah, guys, come on. Press the like button, and when it goes on YouTube or wherever it's going, subscribe. Give me some numbers on subscribing. If you subscribed before, I don't think you could. Could they subscribe again? Fuck it, subscribe again. Fuck down their rules and fuck these rules.
Hit the fucking bell, y'all.
We're stuck on all these rules.
There's lots of hearts on TikTok.
Hearts? Yeah. And I do it too. How do you do that? Like that?
Oh, there you go, TikTok.
There you go, TikTok. I'll give it right back.
He loves yes.
Hey guys, I love you. My new audience, I didn't know yet. Sterling's introducing me. She's great. I love her. She's going to stay with me. She's going to continue her schooling and stuff like that. I took her under my wing. And then for you guys asking me if I took her out, no, I don't take her out. She goes out by herself.
They're like, Sam, everybody in the chat's like, Sammy, something's wrong with your mic.
Yeah.
They're like, guys.
Listen, she came over, she didn't even realize it. She gave you a little moonshot. She was bending over to do that. She didn't even realize it.
Oh my God.
So,
it was like the water baby commercial with
Yeah,
the
it was like-
sunscreen.
yeah, well, no, it was like that one with the sun tan lotion.
Yeah. with the
yeah.
things going down. Oh my gosh. Okay, Michelle, for the last super chat, Sammy, did you do time in Florence, Arizona, SMULI? I worked for the DOC and I was visiting Iceman with director. I do believe I saw you. It was in the early 2000s.
Yes, I got pinched in 1999. In 2000, very early, I got shipped out of. I was with Joe Arpaio for a while. The early 2000s, I was in Florence, Arizona, and then eventually I got shipped out and went to the Supermax in Colorado. But yes, I was there.
Arpaio, that's another one.
Huh?
Arpaio, that's another one.
Yeah.
Crazy bastard.
Joe
All right.
Arpaio.
Oh yeah. His pink underwear intensity.
It was stupid, you know. He gave everybody pink underwear, but not only underwear. The thermo shirt was pink. Your underwear was pink. I forget what else.
Your
the
chanclas.
towel, I think, was pink.
Yeah.
He gave you pink things. I guess he thought in his eyes to belittle you. But it didn't. Who gives a fuck? You're in jail. I don't. And everybody's wearing pink. What's the difference? And he also did something that he had one prison that on one floor of the basement or someplace he had dogs, a pound, and he had dogs in there, and he air conditioned it. The other part of the actual prison wasn't air conditioned, and it was all concrete. And this is the truth. I was in there. I seen a guy, and he would just keel over and boom, fall on the floor. So I said, what the fuck happened to him, bro? I think he died. No, it's the heat, Sammy. And when it was 110, 112 outside, with all that concrete and steel, it was 120 something in there. Matter of fact, it got so bad, guys falling out, that they gave you salt, they issued you salt pills. So you would get the salt pills, you take the salt pill with water so that you didn't dehydrate and pass out.
It's crazy.
I mean, this is how sick this fuck was.
Sick.
He gave air conditioning to the dogs, which I agree, I love dogs. I love my Lily. But you didn't do it for humans. That's where it becomes sick.
Well, he would feed the prisoners rotten food. It was famous for green bologna.
Oh my God, green bologna. You know what you would get? But this is gospel. They were getting the homeless people had food that was given to them. Whatever they had, which was leftovers, they donated it. The homeless donating their food to the prison. So you would get a piece of rye bread, and another one was white bread. And one of them had green mold on it. So you'd get your knife and you'd cut the green mold off to eat it. But 2 different kinds of bread to make a sandwich. What the fuck, bro? Where did this come? Where did this food come from? China? And then I got into a massive beef with him when he sent a woman who was a what do you call that?
Publicist.
A publicist over to me to talk to me. And she said, Sammy, Joe would take good care of you in prison while you're here. Why would he take good care of me? Well, he wants you to sign a document. What kind of document? That you're scared and you like his protection and help. And he'll take good care of you. So I said, listen, I never heard of a warden having a publicist. That's number one. Number two, get the fuck out of here. What am I, a jerk? The next thing it'll be in the front page of the newspaper in Arizona. Sammy's scared to death, he's asking for help. Get the fuck out. Tell him to go fuck himself. And do you know what he did to me?
What?
Whenever I had a visit, I had to wear a bulletproof vest under my orange jumpsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I look like, who could I look like? My chest was out like this big fat mameluke. But it was, I'm wearing this thing under my, so I said, I don't want to wear this fucking thing. So they said, Sam, you have to. Okay, you can't go on the visit. It's his orders. He's just playing with me. He wants to fuck with me now because I tell him to go fuck himself.
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to take it off and I'm going to throw it, I'm going to cause a riot in the visiting room. Sammy, don't do that. You'll never get back out. You do this, you do that. So I did it for a while and then they stopped, which was good. Then I was getting a letter from a Mexican woman, Rosita. And Rosita wanted to come and visit me. Now, you didn't have to be family. All you had to do was come in and sign in, and you can get me out on a visit. So I sent the letter back out. I said, send me a picture, Rosita. Send me a picture of yourself. You know what I look like. Let me see what you look like. I didn't know what she looked like. So anyway, I get a visit. And I go out with the guard, a female guard, and she says, over here in that booth, you sit there. And she's going to put my chain on, hook on to the belt, to the desk. So I don't know who this woman is. It's Rosita. So she says, hi, Sammy, it's Rosita. Oh, nice, pretty woman. So she says, she had like a little tattoo over here, way up high. So a little rose or something. So I said, that's nice, your tattoo. You like that? Yeah, it's nice. You like my tits? I said, yeah, they're nice. You want to see my tits?
Oh my God.
Are you sure you want to show your tits?
In a
There's
visit?
cameras all over the
Yeah.
fucking place, I told her. She whipped them out.
Oh
Boom!
my God.
Up in the air. Now, of course, they saw it on the cameras.
Yeah.
So now she's touching herself besides. Now, unconsciously, I swear to God, unconsciously,
Here we go.
I see that, and then I'm touching myself.
Oh my gosh. Sam.
So the door opens up, the female guard, Sammy, what? And I'm touching myself. She says, what are you doing? I said, nothing. I'm meeting Rosita. She says, you're playing with yourself. I'm not playing with myself. I guess I am.
It was
so
crazy
anyway,
in there.
she
yeah.
says, and get her out of here. I said, why? She says, your wife is outside and she can't get in because she's waiting on a visit that you have.
no.
Rosita took your wife's spot.
No.
I swear to God.
Oh my God.
So I says, all right, let's throw her out. Rosita, bye-bye. Get out.
Adios.
Adios, amigo. So she left. My wife came in. She says, somebody visited you? I'm one of these fucking lawyers. They want to break balls. They want to ask me a million questions. But why don't they come on a lawyer day? I don't know. The lawyer came in. I didn't want to tell her. Rosita.
Yeah. Janice Rossi.
And she's going to watch this video tonight. Well, she's my ex-wife, so she'll probably say, this fucking snake.
Oh my God. On that note, Sammy, let's wrap it
All right,
up.
guys. On that note, we're going like this, and that means adios, motherfuckers.